We know there's just so much information flying around, and figuring out what really matters, well, it can be tough. Overwhelming even. So that's what we do here, cut through it. Today, we're diving into a piece called Accelerating English Fluency, a personal journey. Our mission really is to unpack this pretty amazing personal story of learning a language. We want to pull out the key ideas, maybe some surprising bits that helped one learner go from, textbook drills to actually speaking fluently and confidently. Let's get into it.
Yeah, and what I find really striking about this account is how it steps away from those traditional methods, the rote memorization, right? Learning lists, without really getting the feel for it. It shows this big shift, a change in mindset where learning wasn't just studying anymore, it's about living the language. And that difference, I think, is huge for getting fluent.
That idea of living the language, it sounds like a major moment. So Blake, the learner here, he hit that wall pretty quickly, didn't he? Realized grammar rules, vocab lists, they weren't the whole picture. He needed what he called real-life English. What exactly was missing from just the books?
Well, it's the application, isn't it? The context. Textbooks give you a foundation. Sure, that's important. But they don't often mimic how messy real conversation is. Blake saw he had to move from knowing about the language to actually using it. And his friend, Daniel, apparently gave him this turning point advice.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Pretty direct. Just, Blake, stop only reading textbooks. Start using the language every day. And Blake says, that advice changed everything for me.
Okay, so how does one just start using it every day?
Yeah.
Especially if you're maybe not feeling that confident yet. What were his first steps?
Well, what he did next might sound a little maybe strained at first, but it worked. He started talking to himself in the mirror every morning, saying things like, today's going to be a productive day, or I'm going to focus. He said it felt weird initially, but after a few days, he actually felt his confidence growing. And another thing he did was keep a daily journal, just in English, not worrying about perfection, just writing down what happened. Like he mentioned helping his neighbor, Mr. Harris, fix a garden fence. And he found that just doing that, naturally, his sentences got better, his vocabulary expanded.
It's fascinating. The self-talk, the journaling, it's like creating this safe space, right? You're building the muscle memory for fluency, but without that social pressure. It reinforces the patterns, the words, but in a low-stress way. That psychological safety is probably key there. It makes English feel like a tool you just pick up and use daily, not some subject you have to formally study. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Building that internal comfort zone first. Okay, so he's got this foundation. How did he push beyond that? How did he start weaving English into every part of his day? Well, he consciously started thinking in English. So if he was at the market, for instance, he'd be narrating in his head, those apples look fresh. Right, I need to buy some rice. That man over there is wearing a blue jacket.
He said it kept his brain sort of ticking over in English, even when he wasn't actually speaking out loud.
Exactly. And that constant mental workout, it's so effective because it drills those patterns and words without the immediate pressure of a conversation. You're basically making English part of your internal monologue, wiring it into how you think.
He even used really mundane everyday tasks, like describing what he was doing out loud. I'm brushing my teeth. Okay, now I'm making breakfast, putting on my shoes. Simple stuff, but it connects the action directly with the English words. He also mentioned explaining things to imaginary people, like how to boil water, just to practice organizing his thoughts clearly in English. Right, practicing the articulation.
Exactly. But then here's where it gets really interesting. He started using actual real-life situations. Okay, tell me more. How did that start? He remembered needing something at the hardware store, didn't know the word screwdriver, so he just described it, something to turn screws. And the shop assistant got it immediately, gave him the word context.
Ah, okay. Learning by necessity.
Yeah. And he started asking his wife, hey, can we do this in English tonight? Like planning dinner or just chatting. He said it felt funny at first, but it was great practice for everyday stuff. And a really big moment for him was writing an email to an international client, this guy David, about a project update. He was nervous, apparently.
I bet.
But David replied saying, thanks for the clear update. And Blake said that simple reply boosted his confidence for weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Those real-world successes where communication actually happens effectively, they're gold. It really proves that applying the knowledge is what makes it stick, makes it valuable. You're not just learning screwdriver from a list, you're learning how to get a screwdriver when you need one. What do you think was the hardest part for him, making that jump from practicing alone to actually interacting?
I think, based on what he wrote, it was letting go of needing to be perfect, just aiming for communication, which kind of leads into the next phase.
Yeah.
He wasn't just learning to speak, he was learning how to speak better by watching others. He joined an online learning group, and there was this member, Fatima, whose approach really clicked with him, her method. Super simple.
Okay.
She just said, I listen to people, I copy them, I write the phrases down, then I use them. So Blake started doing that, collecting phrases he heard and liked, like let's keep it simple, and trying them out himself.
That's often called a chunking or sometimes shadowing. It's really powerful because you're not just learning words in isolation. You're picking up the natural flow, the rhythm, the intonation, all those little things that make speech sound authentic. It's like learning the melody of the language, not just the notes.
Yeah, he definitely leaned into that. He mentioned listening to short audio clips, pausing after each sentence and repeating it aloud, really trying to mimic the sound. He felt it helped his pronunciation, sure, but also helped him feel the rhythm of English, made him sound, as he put it, more like a native speaker.
Right.
And his reading strategy changed too. He started with simple short stories in English, like one about a farmer named Tom. He'd read them aloud, underline words he didn't know, and then try to write a quick summary. It connected the vocabulary to feelings, to actions, in a more natural way than just a list.
And that's such a good example of using diverse inputs, isn't it? You've got the listening, the reading, combined with the active output. Copying, summarizing, repeating. It's a holistic approach. You're hitting the language from multiple angles, which really helps solidify the learning.
But another really crucial piece for Blake was keeping it realistic. He wasn't trying to become perfect overnight or learn absolutely everything at once. He set what he called small goals. Things like, okay, today I'll learn 5 new phrases and try to use one. Or I'll just speak for 5 minutes straight, doesn't matter how.
Smart.
And he'd reward himself. Just a simple, well done, Blake.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's psychologically brilliant, actually. It stops you from getting overwhelmed, which is so easy when learning something big like a language. And it builds this positive feedback loop. You achieve a small thing, you feel good, you want to do the next small thing. It's much more sustainable than aiming for some huge, distant goal right away. Celebrating the small wins.
Definitely. And he really shifted his view on mistakes.
Oh.
He told this great story. Apparently, he was trying to tell his neighbor he'd fixed a leaky pipe under the sink, but he accidentally said, I fixed the snake under the sink.
Oh, dear. Slight chuckle.
Right. But they both just laughed. He corrected himself, and he realized, okay, mistakes aren't bad. They're just chances to learn. That became his mantra. Plus, another friend, Sarah, told him, Blake, just speak. Stop worrying if it's perfect.
That's such a classic language learner moment, the snake pipe thing. And being able to laugh about it like Blake did, that's huge. It totally reframes failure into just feedback. It encourages you to think differently about errors. They're not roadblocks, they're just part of the journey. A necessary part, really.
So what helped him push through that embarrassment? Just the mindset shift.
I think it was that shift, plus this underlying theme of just sheer consistency. Blake really hammers his point home. He says, my English didn't improve overnight. It grew slowly, one conversation at a time, one sentence at a time, but I stayed consistent. That's the key. He even said that sometimes just 5 minutes a day made a real difference over time. It wasn't about massive study sessions, but that relentless, small, daily effort.
It adds up.
It really does. Compounding effort.
And the final piece for him, the thing that kept him going, was always remembering why he started. He said, I want to connect with people. I want to understand and be understood. That was his core motivation. So, okay, taking all this in, what does Blake's journey mean for you, listening right now, whether you're learning English or tackling any big new skill?
Well, I think what we see here is that it wasn't about discovering some secret trick or shortcut, not at all.
Yeah.
It was about weaving the learning into the fabric of his everyday life, turning normal moments, even boring ones, into chances to learn and practice. It really underscores that idea of knowledge being valuable when you actually apply it.
Yeah, from talking to yourself in the mirror, which sounds kind of funny, to bravely making those inevitable mistakes and learning from them. It's all about treating the language or whatever you're learning as something alive, a part of your day, not just a subject in a book.
Exactly. And the real engine behind it all seems to be those consistent small steps, plus having the courage to just try to speak or to do the thing, even when you don't feel 100% ready. It reminds us there's always more to learn, but every little step forward counts massively.
So here's something to maybe chew on after this. If you started looking at every little interaction you have, every thought that pops into your head, even the most mundane daily task, if you saw each one as a potential opportunity to deepen your understanding and fluency, how might that change your approach to learning every single day?